Some of the trends that are really shaping the world of work, I mean, obviously technology is the one that we know most about and talk most about. Some other trends that I think are important. One is the impact of many people living for 100 years, and another is really sort of deep societal trends about how people want to live their lives, in particular how the new family structures are emerging and how we think that dual careers are going to be very much part of the future. And I suppose, you know, what those trends mean is that the world of work is going to change very, very radically over the next decade. I think the technology piece is becoming more obvious now, and I think that we know that there will be jobs disappearing. We have an idea of what those sorts of are. Those are likely to be jobs that are more routine. So I think that the focus is really going to be on much more the sort of the human skill and augmentation. So if there was one thing that I'd be thinking about right now, it would be around that. It would be about how can we help people both migrate to skills that are going to be the future orientated skills, particularly human skills, empathy, problem solving, creativity, innovation, but also how can they augment those skills in terms of machine learning. Looking at organizations thinking about the future of work, I think the most important thing is that they begin to build a trajectory that actually identifies, what particularly will happen to them. What I mean by that is that the trends that are going to shape the future are not evenly distributed around all companies. Some companies are going to be particularly sensitive to one type of trend, another to another. And so it's very difficult to sort of write a blueprint for every company. So I think that organizations need to really think about themselves, specifically what are our current skill sets, what are our products, how do we see those developing, what impact will these trends have, and actually build a very specific future-orientated vision. So I don't think they can rely on others to do that for them. I think that every company now needs to build its own futuring capability. Well, it's interesting watching companies right now because you can think about it as two curves. People have been doing various things and they know that they're not working so well and they're getting worse. And they know there's another curve that's coming up of new things. But actually quite often those new ways of working, new ways of thinking are really very far from where the organization is now. And so in that sort of trough of confusion, as it were, we're seeing a lot of experimentation. And I think if there was one practical view I would say to companies is learn to experiment. I think that the future is very individual to an organization. It's got to learn what's going to work best for it. The only way to do that in complex systems is to experiment. So I would encourage experimentation. And sometimes through experimentation, you either learn that something's going to land really well or you can disregard it very quickly. So I think rapid cycle experimentation is going to be absolutely crucial.